Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Nook's Tavern, your weekly dive into the new horizons of Animal Crossing. I am your humble host, Philip D. Keating, and with me, as always, is my billionaire best friend, Kurt Booten.
Billionaire, I love that. Hey, how's it going?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
We've had it for a week, and it feels like I've been living on this island for a very long time already.
Yeah, same. I can't believe it's been a week, and I'm very curious on my hours played once that first 10 days falls off to see where I lie. I know I don't have as much time as everybody else.
Neither do I.
That's the great thing about Animal Crossing, because you're not really in competition with anybody.
And we have friends who play more obsessively than we do, so we can go visit their island and steal their stuff.
That's true, and I don't have the convenience of working at home right now. So all these people that are stuck in their houses have all the time to play.
Right? Yeah. It's wow, what a week. So, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm real good. I've enjoyed my time on the island, and a lot of people have sent me this way to duplicate items in the game so you can just sell them for profit. And it only took Nintendo like a couple days to patch that out. So patch 1.1.1 dropped today, and really it's just fixing a serious bug affecting game balance, because on Reddit people realized that there was a way to duplicate items through a glitch, allowing players to create multiple versions of in-game items to be sold for profit. Nintendo said, and then squashed that as quick as they could.
Right. So I opted not to do it at all because I don't want to cheat, and frankly, I don't want to get the Nintendo hammer smacked down on us, whatever that might look like.
No.
So have you heard of anything about people's bells being taken away from this?
I haven't, but I also feel like that is going to be difficult to do. Just because if you ever already spent the bells on your mortgage or on items, then they would have to retrofit everybody, back to having a smaller house, and then items purchased with that bells would have to be removed, I guess. So I think that's a little bit more work than Nintendo is willing to put into it right now. But
Agreed.
I think they just said, you know what, the heck with it, let's get rid of it now. Enjoy your first glitch of gameplay, but we're gonna move on past this.
Yeah, and there's enough in the game that people were concerned about being out of balance and whatever. That's gonna happen anyway because people will play for way longer than normal people have the ability to.
Sure.
So I mean, when I had heard, like on the second day, we had some friends that had their museum up. I was like going, okay, I have a job.
I cannot lie. I stayed up until midnight that Thursday night after we recorded, and I streamed for about 2.5-3 hours. And by the end of that, I had my my Blathers moving in already, and it wasn't fun because that waiting period of him coming in and building his museum.
Ugh.
Oh my God! Well,
it's only a day, and we're sitting here going,
chaos.
Let's get my museum already.
Chaos. I know Bill had like all his fish and bugs wrapped around the construction site. Me myself, I had all my fish and bugs wrapped around my house. My inside was completely just packed full of fish and bugs.
Yep.
It was chaos for that literally the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
Which we're not used to. We're not used to having to wait to have that museum there, It's normally there and ready for us to donate right away. So
it made me appreciate it, though.
It's same, but also I was panicked because inside the Discord that we have between the Botch and Adventure Incorporated podcast for Animal Crossing, Anthony was like, aren't you scared that, the museum's going to expand past that line, therefore eliminating all the things that you've stacked around it? And I was like, no, I wasn't until you mentioned it. Yeah, no, I don't know, because I didn't know if the dimensions of my tent was going to be smaller than the dimensions of my house.
Right.
So I was like, great. No, I didn't have panic until you mentioned that, Anthony. Thank you.
My guess is that they'll figure that out. I haven't run into it. I don't know anybody who's run into it yet.
No, nobody has.
So
let's talk week 1 How has your first week been inside your deserted island?
It's been pretty fantastic. Just the process of, well, I'll touch on my other things later, but the process of kind of getting used to the island and honestly figuring out what the multiplayer thing was like, figuring out the Nook Miles thing and everything. It was pretty cool, and I find myself still very interested. It doesn't feel to me yet like a slog, where it just feels like the same thing over and over again. There's all kinds of stuff to do, and so if I don't feel like fishing, I don't have to fish. I got plenty of other things to do.
Sure.
So it's been really good, and getting that first upgrade obviously was very, very satisfying.
How many upgrades do you have so far?
Just one. I just got the house.
So you just have the one-room house.
Yep, I am almost at the point where I can pay off the house, but I am kind of insane. I don't want to give Tom Nook my money before I'm ready to give him my money.
So I understand that, and I understand your gripe with the coalition that is, or the syndicate that is the Nook family, but I'll tell you what, man, that first week for me was... It went by in a flash.
Yes.
And I've had a lot of fun doing almost everything on this island and still exploring and finding new things that have cropped up on this island, and also talking to the community and talking to other players and all this. It's been wonderful, right? On night 2, I had the ability to pay my house back.
Right.
But I realized that it was about 15 minutes before the store closes. So I'm in panic mode because I know, the next morning my house will be there if I can get this paid off in time.
Right.
So I'm running around. I'm doing everything. I'm pulling every piece of fruit because I normally stagger them so I have some income. I'm running around pulling all the fruit. I pulled all the shells. I'm fishing. There's no bugs out that are worth anything except the common butterflies. So I'm just hoping that I pull all these fish out of the sea that can pay for my house.
Weeds.
Well, that's the thing, because I am neurotic, and my island has been weed-free since the first time I could pull weeds.
Wow.
Like, oh, God. I hate it, but also I realized very quickly that people don't want to watch me weed my island at 2 o'clock in the morning when I was streaming. So I had to hold on to the next day. But what happens is 10 o'clock hits, I'm inside the store talking to the twins, and they're like, sorry, mate, we're closed. You got to get out of here. And I was like,
but
I'm 2,400 bells short. I had time. So what I instantly did was I went on to the airport, and I said, all right, who do I have in a different area code, a different time zone that would still have a store open?
Oh.
I've got 15 people online. So I'm like, chances are good. Chances are really good. And I get in there, and they're like, you only have one person with an open gate right now. And he's in the mountain time zone.
Oh.
So I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. So I run over there. I say, hi, how are you? Here's some fruit from my island. I'm sure you could use it. I need to use your store real quick. Got in, got about 5,000 bells off of his island, and was able to come home and give Tom my bells so that my expanded house could start the next day and be there the next day. So I have 2 rooms.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you were only using the store, obviously, to just sell the items so you could get the bells.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I wanted to get my expanded house by the next morning and not have to wait another 24 hours by giving Tom Nook his payment at like 8 in the morning.
Now, couldn't you have exchanged Nook Miles for bells?
You know what? I don't know, but I've been very cagey with my Nook Miles.
Huh. I wonder why that is.
I only use them on the tickets. I've seen other people be able to buy fences and stonework in there. Never has popped up for me.
No.
I have cool haircuts and something else that I really don't care about.
Yeah, I've got that. Okay, so this is just a minor criticism. One of the nitpicks I have is I think you should be able to see the details of an item before you purchase it.
Well, that makes sense.
like the pop haircuts and the cool haircuts and whatever's up there. I want to see what those styles are. I'll buy them if I like them,
Sure.
but I want to see them. And the same goes for pretty much any of those items where there's some sort of a look to them. I kind of want to know what it looks like.
Sure. I mean, they show you what the furniture or the outfits or the umbrellas
Right.
that you can buy off there, but they don't with the other things.
Right.
Interesting.
So,
But I also, I've had a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of fun with friends, which has been great.
yes,
Real great. Going in and out of people's islands, we have that Discord. People are always saying what their turnip prices are, what the hot item of the day is. It's one of the most active Discords that I have that I follow regularly on my phone. So to see that is dope. And hopefully the fire that is Animal Crossing that everybody is playing right now stays longer than, let's say, Mario Kart 8 or some of the other first-party games that have come out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, some of the most fun I've had has been the couple of nights that we've had full-on parties with people from Discord and just people coming over to the islands and visiting each other's islands. It's been great. It's been just a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it has been, except you. You were not fun.
I was freaking hilarious.
Look, you're coming over to my island. You're naked. You're throwing weeds everywhere, just planting weeds all over, giving me aneurysms. And it's all on stream, and I'm watching you just run around in your boxers, booping people with your net, scaring people's fish off on purpose. It was infuriating and yet hilarious at the same time, where I had one of my viewers reach out to me, and they were like, because of Kurt on stream, my child no longer has clothes on his villager, and he just keeps going around emulating Kurt. And I was like...
I win. So to be fair, so everybody understands, I refuse to fall into the, you got to buy these clothes because they're new in the shop whole thing. I am not going to be held by any fashion statement. I am going to wait for the perfect outfit. And right now, that perfect outfit happens to be an elder mask that I'm wearing, to be swapped out on occasion by the pacifier. But
so awful.
I will put on clothes when I find the perfect barbershop quartet outfit.
Do you know if it's out there?
I don't know, but I do know I've seen straw hats.
Well, I have seen straw hats, and then also you have that custom design website that allows you to upload any pattern to be QR'd once the Able Sister finally hit your town. So
right. So I did have one of the Able Sisters in town.
Yeah, me too.
One night. So actually, yeah, let's talk about that. Who have you had for visitors? Like in-game visitors, not our friends.
Really, the only one I've had so far has been Gulliver on day 2 and day 5.
Yep.
And I think it was Mabel? It was Mabel of the two sisters. The blue hedgehog.
Yeah. So wait, you Gulliver twice?
Yeah, I've had Gulliver twice already.
I've only had Gulliver once, and I had to find those stupid parts for him.
Yeah. No, I've had him twice already, and he's done me well.
So I had on top of those two, I had those two as well, but I had Sahara.
I have yet to have Sahara. Now I've ran into her on multiple friends' islands.
Yep. Which
has been problematic for me because I automatically have to buy 3 items from her.
Right. And obviously Turnip Head. I can't remember her name. I don't even care because I'm not falling prey to the turnip exchange.
See, and I missed the window because it's only from 6 a.m. to about 6. It's a small window where she's there. I think it's 8 o'clock.
Something like that. Is
when she leaves. And I'll be honest with you, 19 years I've been playing Animal Crossing, I have hit turnips once in my life.
That is my least favorite part of any Animal Crossing game.
And then once I had those turnips, I didn't know the rules, and I time traveled, and they all spoiled in my pocket because that's the way that they get you to stop time traveling is to spoil out your turnips. So
right.
I'm not going to wake up that early.
And then today, right before we started recording, I was visited by Harvey.
Harvey Dent?
No. Harvey the hippie dog.
He's the brown dog, right?
well, hey, I don't see color, but
well, neither do dogs. So you guys have that in common.
rough.
The
So
joke was rough.
so Harvey is the one that introduces you to Photopia.
Okay.
And Photopia is where you go to the island or you go to his island, and he's got 3 studios. It feels a little creepy, but he's got 3 studios where you can invite your friends, take pictures. Boy, it's sounding even creepier the more I keep trying to explain it.
Yeah, and his name doesn't help either.
And yeah. But it's the place where if you have Amiibos where you can use them.
Oh, can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah, we certainly can, because I tried my trusty Sonic the Hedgehog Amiibo. This Amiibo not supported.
Nope.
I tried my trusty Legend of Zelda Amiibo cards. This Amiibo not supported.
Yep.
So
it's only I'm guessing, because I haven't been there yet, but I'm guessing that the only ones would work for this would be the Animal Crossing ones. But I feel like they really missed an opportunity, because in past games we've had items, from other Nintendo IPs, and this probably would have been a perfect way to introduce that, that element of gameplay. I know that in past they've been in balloons, but so far out of every balloon, I haven't gotten anything from another first-party Nintendo game. So that's a little disheartening that they kind of had that opportunity to do it that way.
Well, they did say in their Nintendo Direct that they were going to increase the Amiibo offering in terms of Amiibo support.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that they do expand it and find a way to be more generic about it. I know, what was it, the most recent 3DS version, if you had Animal Crossing Amiibos, you could turn them into designs.
Okay.
Which is fine, and that's cool, and that would be good, but it just seems like if they're not using all of the Amiibos at some point, that's a missed opportunity.
Agreed.
The technology's already there, right? So I don't know what kind of extra work they'd need to do.
I guess, pattern design, and depending on what you would get, like if you put a Link one on there, which Amiibo of Link unlocks what? Because there are, back on my shelf already, I have about 7 or 8 different Links, right?
Right.
So would one Link just unlock everything and all Links unlock the same thing? Or, are you going to have different variations per Amiibo? That is a lot of work, because there are hundreds of Amiibos out there.
Yeah, but given I guess it depends on what you want to do with them, right? If you're doing full-on 3D figures that you can take pictures with, that's a huge amount of work.
True, but even if you're doing shirts and other, well, I guess shirts wouldn't be so bad.
But given the resolution, that could be simplified pretty easily.
It could. It really could.
It does take some artwork, no question.
But with the other Nintendo games, like the 3DS one, you were able to unlock like a Samus helmet and a Samus shirt, Samus pants, Samus shoes. I had a full-on Star Fox ship, in my house last time. So that kind of thing would take a lot more resources. And, all things considered right now, I doubt that they really have the manpower to necessitate, a project like that.
Right. That's the one thing. I don't know anybody that's gotten a Nintendo IP object yet.
Yeah.
And
it'd be interesting.
It's really early. So I'm kind of hopeful
that
with special events, like what would have been really cool had the game released earlier would have been on March 10th, right?
Yep. And that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, so I'm hopeful that we'll get something, like other games that have special events in game for special holidays and whatnot. I'm hopeful that we'll get something more in that vein. So,
well, they could also release things around other release dates of games.
Right.
So you have, let's say, hypothetically, Breath of the Wild 2 comes out this Christmas.
Right.
You have, items that coalesce or go inside with other titles on the release day. So that could be cool to see. But what I wanted to say is, since the last time we have talked, I have bought 3 new Amiibos.
Oh God, really?
Yep.
What'd you get?
I finally pulled the trigger and got the triple pack of the 2 llamas, Cyrus and Reese, and also
KK.
my boy KK Slider, man.
So I keep hearing when KK's supposed to show up, but I got a little bit more work to do.
Yeah.
So
obviously week 1 has been a lot of fun. I'm a little upset that I don't have a lot of the crafting things that other people have, but that allows me to have things that they don't and then build them and trade items that way.
Right.
I do have a little bit of a gripe about items and how they break very easily. Now, look, I know that the flimsy ones, you're supposed to only have them for a bit and start out with that. But I figured once I got the upgraded items, that would be the end of my problems.
Nope.
And it wasn't. And from what I even hear, and I've been reading about, is that even when you unlock the gold items, they're still not indestructible.
So I've heard a couple things about this. So the flimsies last for 30 hits.
Yep.
The regular ones last for 100. And what I've heard is once you unlock customization, which I don't know if you've done it yet, I unlocked it today, which allows you to change the color of objects.
No, I would have to look.
Yeah, it's a Tom Nook scam where he just says, "Hey, I'll teach you how to paint," and and so you do. And what I've heard is if you customize an object, it resets the hit count.
Really?
And I don't know. I don't know because I haven't tried that yet, but I may try that with a flimsy just to see if it works.
So
because
what I've been
it's
doing...
going to be easier to count.
Sure. What I've been doing is I use my flimsy till about 25, and then I craft it to the next one.
Yeah, that's gonna be the most efficient way to be able to deal with that, right? I mean,
yeah.
So the flimsies bug me about how fast they go. The regular ones don't seem as annoying to me.
I see. I guess I'm just fishing a lot more.
Well, you love to fish, right?
I do.
So yeah. So I think that's what it is. I'm usually mixing things up quite a bit. So
now I have noticed that my favorite item in the game is the flimsy axe because it allows you to harvest wood out of the trees without actually breaking them down.
I gotta say that's been one of the annoying things is you get the better axe and then you go, okay, good, I'm gonna get some wood, and then it chopped down my tree.
Yeah. It only took me one time to realize, like, nope, I got to go back to always having a flimsy axe on me, and then I haven't really harvested any space out yet like other people have. I only knocked down one tree so far, and I just tucked that axe right into my storage in my house, and I haven't touched it since.
Yeah, I went on a little bit of a Paul Bunyan spree, and I chopped down a bunch of trees. But the stumps are all there still. So
sure,
because I'm not a monster.
No, and I've been yelled at multiple times for digging people's stumps up because they're for bugs. But I don't see why you need 30 of them around you. You just look like you're the antagonist from Fern Gully, just chopping down trees for no reason.
Oh, Fern Gully reference. Okay, great. So how are you enjoying your museum? Have you done a full walkthrough of it yet?
I have, and my God, I'll say the aquarium side is probably my favorite out of the 3 parts.
Interesting.
Just because it's so beautifully lit, and the fish are displayed in such an interesting way, and there's a part of it where you can actually walk in and into your actual tank because they have that walkthrough, which I find it's wonderful. But I also like how you can go all the way up top and see the water up there, but also like a little research station up there that Blathers has started. So, God, it's always been my favorite part of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, me too.
And they have really given it the full treatment to beauty. I mean, it's beautiful.
It really is. It like way more than you would expect they needed to. It just is. It's just gorgeous.
And even the fact that he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get multiple donations from multiple people. It's cool. And then you walk into the butterfly house, and there's just hundreds of butterflies in there, and it's incredible.
I still am partial to the dinosaurs.
Oh, well, yes, I saw that out front of your house that you have a full dinosaur.
Well, it's actually it's a muttasaur, because it's 3 parts from 3 different dinosaurs, but because of the way the displays work, it kind of fit together.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of your style. You know, can't have anything looking too pretty.
no.
But I do like that cardboard cutout or that wood cutout of that dinosaur that you have in front of it. That's pretty neat.
Nicole gave that to me.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. The thing about the dinosaurs is if you walk through and you walk to the last room of the dinosaur exhibit, there are silhouettes of all of the villagers.
Correct.
And I'm trying to figure out, I'm guessing that if you fill in a complete display, one of those might light up.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's something going on there, because why would they be there otherwise? That can't possibly be just, okay, we thought we'd put some silhouette decorations. And those lines that that come down from them that go all along the floor and match up to an exhibit, there's something else there.
Now, have you had anybody move into your island yet?
I have. I had 2 people today.
What the heck?
I finished all the houses yesterday. I think it was all of them, maybe 2 of them. 2 days ago, I finished 2 of the houses. Yesterday, I finished the 3rd house.
So what am I doing wrong?
Did you check back in with Tom Nook?
No, I have not.
Because if you don't pay homage to the Godfather, he will not let them come in.
I did not realize I had to kiss the ring because I keep going to different, Nook escape islands, and everyone's like, man, I would love to move in. And I was just like, dope, I'll see you on my island. And then they never show up, and I'm just like, what the heck?
Now, you got to bend the knee to the Godfather, and then he says, all right, so go build these houses. And,
gotcha.
And then you've got to build the houses, which means, what it really means is you have to furnish the inside and the outside of the houses through crafting.
Okay.
And then you have to submit those things into these boxes outside of the houses that you're building.
I have to spend my resources on someone else's house?
Yes, you do. 3 people.
Okay.
And then you got to go to Nook and say, Godfather, I have finished your tasks. And he goes, okay, we'll get him to move in soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I got 2 new villagers today, and I expect the 3rd one tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to now have to kiss the ring.
Yep.
To the Nook father.
So I will tell you that. Okay, so let's talk about like kind of the coolest things. For me right now is once figuring out the multiplayer, it's just that whole like party vibe, just open things up, and just it's been a lot of fun.
It has, but it's also been frustrating at the same time for me.
I understand that.
Because those load in, load out screens
So long.
are very, very long. And if I'm streaming like I was and we had a party of, I think, 5 to 8 people show up,
Yep.
every 10 seconds somebody would land and then we'd go into another 2-minute loading screen. And
Yep.
it really bogs it down. Now, look, when everybody gets in, it's incredible. There's
Right.
nothing better to have 5 to 8 people running around, playing tag with their nets, or helping each other out. Oh, if you give me some materials, I'll build you a ladder. It's like, all right, Kurt, thanks for something.
Hey, I
But those
put all those
screens-
holes in front of your dock for no other reason than to delay people from leaving so that you could get your stuff done.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess with every blessing, there's a curse. But yeah, those load screens are just, and I don't think there's a faster way for them to do it. Just because I feel like if there was a better way, a faster way, it would have been in there already. But who knows what's working on the back end right now?
Right.
They're being very cagey and quiet about everything that's going on. So hopefully soon. But my lord.
Yeah.
And I don't like that if I am in the middle of fishing and somebody either comes in or leaves,
Yep.
it cancels my fish out. You know,
Right.
with other conversations, they say finish up your conversation.
Right.
So I wish they would have done that for fishing, because I'm pretty sure I had one of the bigger fish on my line when somebody came in, and then the load screen was finally finished, the fish was gone. So
Right. The other weird arbitrary thing for me is you cannot place an item if you have other people on your island.
Correct, which I also found very interesting on why.
Because everybody's got the assets locally.
Yeah.
So,
But not only that, like me putting something in my garden, like a garden gnome, does not have any effect on anybody else.
and there's some missed opportunity there, right? Because you could say, "Hey, look at this," to people who are on your island, and just pop it out in front of them, and that would be cool.
Unless the island itself, when it is loaded into, is preserved right there, right? It's moved onto a server and preserved, and so there cannot be changes while it's being preserved as other people were on your island.
Maybe, but see, here's the other. If we had an unlimited, like, random set of islands that we dealt with, that'd be one thing. But everybody got a choice of the same 5 islands.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems an odd choice, and it bummed me out because literally more than once I wanted to go, "Oh, hey, look at this new thing I got," and I couldn't place it down.
Sure. Yeah, Shannon came over to my island and she's like, "Here, I got you a gift. Put it out and let's see how it looks in your garden." I was like, "I can't.
Right.
You got to leave and I'll send you a screenshot, I guess."
Right. So, but otherwise, the multiplayer, once I figured it out, and the loading times notwithstanding, once everybody's on the island, it is fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So what do you think of the Nook Miles farming islands?
It's really hard for me not to love them because it's an island I don't have to take care of.
Right.
Like,
and you can ransack it.
You ransack the heck out of it. You leave holes everywhere, so when you're hitting rocks, you don't get pushed around too much or lose the opportunity. And I don't have to weed it, but some of my favorite memories so far have happened on those islands.
Really?
Because I loaded into an island a couple days ago. It was raining on the island, and I pulled multiple big fish out of there. Like,
oh, cool.
I caught a couple oarfish. I caught a couple tunas. The dinosaur fish that the name escapes me right now.
Football fish?
I've caught a couple football fish. No, but I'm talking about the gigantic. It starts with a C, but it's a dinosaur fish, and I caught 3 of them right off the island. And it's just like, well, I just loaded my bags with,
right,
75,000 bells. But I also don't have to take care of it. So when I'm done pillaging for the Lord Nook himself, I can just get up and get the heck out of there.
It is kind of a cool way to find new villagers, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I found 3 of them that are just literally probably cursing my name for not talking to the Nook Father yet.
He promised me that I could come live over there.
He promised me a better life, and here I sit, stranded in whatever dump I live in.
I'm filling in holes all day long.
So, yeah, I enjoy them a lot. And I even saw on Twitter today that somebody loaded into an island that was nothing but emperor butterflies.
Really?
The ones that sell for 4K. And
I love those things, and they're beautiful too. I mean,
they're beautiful as heck, yeah. But he showed his bags, and every slot was just full of these emperor butterflies. So, it's kind of like the cow level in Diablo. Does it really exist?
Right.
It could, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
So, yeah. Is there anything else that really grinded your gears so far on week 1?
So I received a letter from a friend who I had asked for some clay because I was unable to complete a task, and I got the clay from this friend, and he left a message that I favorited because it said, "You're aching for some clay."
As soon as you asked me for that clay, I said, I know exactly what's going in this letter.
Oh, it was the perfect thing. It really
Thank you.
was.
I knew out of all my friends that you would appreciate that very terrible cheesy pun more than anybody else.
And I tried to come up with something related to Ruben Studdard to reply with, and I just couldn't. So I just favorited the letter, and it will stay in my mailbox because it was fun.
Good. So as we come into April, we have our first holiday event, which is Bunny Day, which starts April 1st, where we're going to have to, from what I could tell off the video, have to dig up eggs and return them to the rabbit, and he'll give us furniture or other things that, have to do around eggs or Easter or, the beginning of spring and stuff like that. Do you get much into these holidays?
In other games and almost certainly in Animal Crossing, I know I did back in the day. I'm the kind of guy that New Year's Eve, I knew I was going to a party, but I kind of wanted to check in on Animal Crossing before I went to the party. So just to take part in the celebration.
Sure.
So yes, I will, and if they have sets of stuff, I will try to complete them all.
See, and that's where those holidays shine, or those sets that, hopefully it's a 12-day event, April 1st to April 12th. So hopefully you have enough time to get as much as you can. See, the egg one, Bunny Day doesn't really bother me if I don't get everything. For me personally, it's the Halloween events and the Christmas events is where I kind of go a little overboard to try to achieve everything.
Right. Yeah, even in Pocket Camp, during the Christmas event, the first year that Pocket Camp was around, I basically decorated the entire floor of my house or my camper with Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
I get into those. But it's also one of those where it really taps into my completionist tendencies.
See, luckily with the holiday events, it doesn't trigger my completionist. But what really does is the Nook mileage achievements. When I had an N60 or when I had a 360, achievement hunting was kind of like the peak of how I played video games. Now I wouldn't go out there and just play any game, but if I started a game, I had to get 100% on it. So to have that kind of in Animal Crossing now, with has nothing more than, mileage off of it, is really, really triggering something in me.
The one thing we haven't really seen too much, other than from Nook, has been the, hey, I'm looking for a fish. Can you bring that to me from other villagers?
No. Mostly they just want to talk to me and give me different emotes that can be put into my wheel. Like today, my sheep, he sneezed on me. And I was like, bro, I got a mask on for a reason. He's like, haha, wasn't that funny? Let me show you that again. And he sneezes on me again. And I was like, I need you to get about 6 feet away from me right now. So I'm going to be very excited to sign on and just go to other people's islands and start sneezing all over them.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if we are going to get more mission-based tasks as we move forward. I mean, I think the Nook Miles and the achievements themselves are fine. I will say that I kind of wish they had a daily task list.
Well, they kind of do, but they kind of don't. I get what you mean.
The plus miles seem to be kind of that thing, except they never end.
That's true. And I when I first started completing them, I was like, all right, well, there only has to be like 10 of these, right? But you're right, they don't end. They just keep going, which is good and bad.
Right.
Because, sometimes I can't find a stink bug to catch at that very moment. And thankfully, when I'll sign back in, it's gone. Or like one of them was catch a sturgeon. And I was like, I already caught only one. Right. And it went right into my museum. Like, I don't plan on pulling out a sturgeon every so often. So
right. So I think that'll probably mature as we move forward.
I hope so. I really want them to support this game. And it's great to see that it is getting the love and support of the community. Like, a lot of the people that I've talked to, this is their first Animal Crossing game.
Right.
And I'm hearing from other people, like, I am really regretful that I didn't get New Leaf for the 3DS because I feel like I wasted all this time not really feeding into the Animal Crossing. So I would say about 80% of the people I talk to, this is their first one.
Yeah, you know what's weird in a kind of strange way. This feels to me a little like that first year of Pokemon Go.
Oh, interesting.
It feels like there's way more people playing this, and it could be because of this coronavirus thing and people stuck inside, and it's kind of a way to connect with your community as well. Just because of the way it works. It feels like more people are playing this Animal Crossing than I'm used to seeing.
So I know in Japan, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know in Japan it did gangbusters on the first. I think it was like 2.1 million copies were sold in Japan on the first day or first week, something like that.
Wow.
Which, for Japan, that's a huge part of their population.
Right.
And I was talking on Breaking the Panel, I wonder how close Animal Crossing New Horizon is going to get to that high standard of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's the gold star of sales right now for the Switch. But with that game, one house buys multiple copies of Mario Kart 8.
Right.
And I'm saying multiple copies of Animal Crossing are being bought inside houses as well. So I wonder how close it's going to get to that shining sun that is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
So, that'll be really interesting to figure out. You did touch on something that has been a bit of a point of contention for folks, and that is how multiple players inside the same house play with Animal Crossing.
Sure.
If they have one Switch, then it's not as good of an experience for the second person.
Correct. And with the way things are right now, you can't get a second Switch.
Oh, right.
They're completely off the shelves.
Right. So this isn't completely unusual. I don't remember which Animal Crossing it was, but if you had multiple players within the same house, you literally were living in the same house.
Interesting. Because I always remembered, like, with the... What was it? With the GameCube, you could plug in a different memory card, and it would be a fresh island or a fresh town.
Right, but if you played on the same memory card, you had different houses in the same town.
Correct.
Which was also okay because it was still a different experience for everybody. But this one, you're on the same island, and the progress is the same for everybody. So
yes, and this was an issue and a point of contention months before this game came out because they were always upfront with saying this. But it's true, if you're the first one to sign in, you're getting all the mats, you're getting all the dinosaurs, you're getting all them rocks, you're getting the money rock. If you are the second one in, you kind of have to go to Nook Islands to kind of get your resources because your island has been pillaged.
Right.
So
we'll see how that all works out long term, but I think what'll end up happening is people are grousing about it, and then that grousing will go away, and everybody will still love the game.
Well, they're grousing very loudly on the internet because they are review bombing the heck out of this game, trying to tank the review numbers. Which, yeah, if you want your voice to be heard, sure, but I don't think it's the way to actually do it. And I actually don't think that it's going to make a difference to Nintendo, especially after they see the sales numbers come out on this game.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see what the actual numbers are. I've seen them go up and down. The user scores because of the review bombing on Metacritic is 6.0 out of 10, and the Metascore, however, from reviews is 91%.
Correct.
So, and I would tend to agree with the 91%. I understand people are annoyed, but stop it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So,
agreed. So, all right. Well, do we want to take a look behind the curtains and get into our segment that we've deemed Behind the Bells?
Behind
the true story of the Nook Syndicate with Kurt Booten.
All right. So, people understand that I don't have a very good feeling about Tom Nook. And because of things like, oh, you've got new villagers, but you have to craft with your own money all the stuff that needs to go into their houses. And no, you don't get paid back. You might get a little prize from me, but do it or else you won't have any neighbors. I have to uncover the criminal syndicate of the Nook family. Now, I did a little digging because there's a lot of lore over all the games. Now, Timmy and Tommy, for example, who are they?
Well, obviously they are the twin brothers of Nook, Tom Nook. One is actually, I would presume Tommy Jr. and his probably 1 or 2 minute younger little brother Timmy.
You would think that, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, no, they're not. So Timmy and Tommy, who I'd like to call Pete and Repeat, they have no relation to Tom Nook.
I'm sorry, what?
Nook in Animal Crossing Wild World says that he has no relation to Timmy and Tommy. Explicitly says that, and says they're simply his employees. And in later games, the villagers kind of mention that Tom Nook found Timmy and Tommy as orphans and adopted them. Now, okay, I wasn't going to talk about trafficking of any sort, but I was going to go down another road, but I'm not going to go down there. I will go down this, though. Timmy and Tommy's German names in the German translation of the game are Nepp and Schlepp. And Nepper and Schlepper in the German language are words for con men and double dealers.
Stop
Coincidence? I think not. I think Timmy and Tommy have been brainwashed since babies to not only believe that they are the children of Tom Nook, but also they're being prepped to take over the family business. It's just, there's too much there. Every single thing that happens is under Tom Nook's purview. And it's like, okay, you guys can take over Nook's cranny now. I'll be over here just handling the design table. And I'll deal with the Nook Miles, the travel agency. But you guys deal with the general store, the merchandise. He gets a kick. He gets a kick every single time. Tommy, I believe Tommy was hit as a child. Tommy, I believe he has been so shell-shocked that ever since he was a little kid, every time Tom says something or Timmy says something, and Tommy's like, the only thing he can do is repeat the last word that Timmy says. I think Tommy's been abused by Tom Nook. That's my say on that. I don't have anything to prove that yet, but Nook is a schnook. He's no good there. No good can come from that. So I will do as little as possible to cater to Tom Nook. I am not going to pay him 1 penny, or 1 bell, rather, until I have all the bells, because I don't want him taking advantage of any interest rates that he might get with his own owned banks to cash in on my loan. And that's pretty much my rant for today, for Nook.
Kurt, I'm worried about you.
Oh, you don't even know about the whole relationship with the Able sisters. We'll talk about that in a future episode.
And I think that's where we're going to call it on Nook Tavern. Thank you for listening. So look, you can follow us on Twitter at Nook's Tavern. You can email the show at nookstavern@gmail.com. Why don't you send us one of your stories or something that has happened inside your own island, and we'll read it out here on the show. And if you want, there is a Discord. It's tiny.cc/Nook Discord, which is all lowercase. Thank you to Emily Swan for the artwork for our show. More of her work over at ASwanNamedEmily on all social media. And I think that's going to do it. Kurt, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at VO by Kurt, and over on my own channel on Twitch at Kurtstable. That's Kurt's Table. And I'll be streaming Animal Crossing whenever I get a chance.
And you can follow me on all social media at Imaginary Nomad, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram with a 1. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for giving us your time. And we'll catch you all next week. See ya!